Everybody, it's Invicta. It's time for another Eden Run here, the Binding of Isaac Victor Repentance series. Happy Tuesday, Mosh Pit. Hope your Tuesdays are going off to a great start with another couple videos that are very close to 3,000 likes over the weekend. So definitely go check those out. It was a lot of fun, especially Saturday's run. That one was in particular very awesome indeed. And of course, we have the Tainted Blue Baby run as well for Tainted Random Run Day. Here's your meme of the day / I guess kind of artwork of the day, even though it was made by Pokemon Fusion, sent in here by Otherwise Mistake 106. Title thread was how I imagined Sin would be as a Pokemon, and then they also wrote to show you how they generated this. They said thanks to Pokemon Fusion for this glorious rendering of Sinvicta's logo, Double Haunter, one of my favorites. And yes, that is what happens apparently when you put Haunter with Haunter in Pokemon Fusion, which is a game that I actually have played, but I mean it's cool. It's a neat little side project for people, but it's not bad. C-Day is gonna be Emrak Kex. We got Montezuma's Revenge along with Black Hole. We also have no idea how much HP we have and a High Priestess card, so just a horrific movement speed, I gotta say. That's not good for our early game here, with us having absolutely no clue how much HP we've got. But what I will say is that we do have Montezuma's Revenge, and if there was ever a time for Montezuma's Revenge to show you how good it can carry, this is it. And we could bomb here for 2 Soul Hearts, which would be pretty huge. Now we don't even need to bomb the donation machine. We can just get a nickel here, hopefully. And yeah, so that's gonna give us the Pandora's box. Do we take, now here's the question, do we take the 2 Soul Hearts, do we wait till Depths 1? I think we take the 2 Soul Hearts now. It is kind of a big cost there to pay for just 2 Soul Hearts, but given the fact that we have no clue what our HP is, then we're paying for safety at this point. We have the Chariot card as well, which we can use against the boss early on, and Black Hole is just kind of like whatever. Yeah, we get Polydactyl, so we'll be able to go back and actually get that other card, the High Priestess card. Yeah, you know what? Let's go do that now. Let's go. I would like to use the High Priestess card against the boss, and then that way we can hold on to the Chariot card for something like, say, a Demon Judgment, or maybe even a Temperance Machine. And then we have a Sun card for mapping on the next floor, or whenever we feel like using it. But obviously right now we have, again, for the 3rd time, no clue what our HP is. It's going to be Baby Plum, who is baby dead, and down she goes, and we are going to get some movement speed here. Unfortunately, there's no way for us to really kind of influence where Constellation Prize is going to go, because movement speed clearly was our worst. So it's a meaningful upgrade, but I would have preferred it to go to like damage or even Tears rate. But what can you do? So we're leaving the first floor here with a very good start. Now we could use Black Hole and maybe get these 2 chests, I think. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's assuming, of course, we had a key, but you know what? It's the thought that counts. Okay, so we had plenty of HP. I'm going to use the Sun card in the next room that has enemies in it, because obviously I just want to use it to nuke an entire room. We also could potentially play this. Hang on now. We could play the sack room. If there's enough red hearts that show up, I would be tempted to play this, because that is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 taps if we use the Sun card and have that red heart on the ground that's inside of the sack room. So if we can get 3 more red hearts to drop on the ground, or if we get basically another HP upgrade, that's pretty much going to do it. I'd be tempted to, yeah, why not? I'd be tempted to play the sacrifice room here pre-boss fight. Get Inner Eye here, which is going to give us a multi-shot, which is always great. Of course, that does limit the amount of tears that we can get from our tears ups, but still, triple shots. It's 3 shots in 1. I just didn't feel like dealing with this room. Don't ask me how the game manages to not destroy the dips, but yet not destroy the poops, but destroys rocks. That's a question for the science nerds out there, because I have no clue. Somehow the force of Black Hole can destroy a rock, but it can't destroy a poop pile. So go figure. Womb room would be very nice if we could get one here. And we do get a womb room. Okay, so yeah, I mean, hey, a deal's a deal. We'll go play that that sack room. And honestly, we may not even need to use the sun card. So let's go play the sacrifice room here. Got a coin. Got 2 coins. Got an angel deal. You get the chest, which did not have a heart in it, but we have that. 3 more coins. Okay now. This is going to be a little bit of a trek. Secret room might be here. I'm willing to test it. And honestly, I say we go back and get the womb room first. That is going to give us a full heal. So with these double hearts, that should be enough for us to get to at least the 7 soul heart potential payout from the sacrifice room. Okay, we didn't get teleported to the angel room. Also did not get an angel deal item, so good. Okay. But there's a soul heart in there, which is, that's fine. Secret room's to the right of there, by the way, the one that's above the item room. I'm just kind of stoked that we get to hold on to the sun card, as that's going to be just beneficial for us all around, especially when we end up going for a red heart build here. Troll bombs, I'm going to just back out and let them explode. Normally, I would try to rush it to get them to damage Uriel, but this time around, we just don't have enough. And yeah, we have enough here to not have to use the sun card, which is great. And again, this is laborious going back and forth, but you know, I will say that this is one of those instances where it's warranted, right? The potential payout here, the upside is just too high to have. So let's see if we get, I mean, either way, we're going to get 30 cents or 7 soul hearts, and we get the 7 soul heart payout. That's totally fine. There we go. So at the end of the day, was it worth it? Yeah, I'd say easily worth it. We didn't get any angel deal items, but we still don't know what our deal is going to have. We can still bomb the donation machine as well if there's something incredible inside of this shop, which I'm going to look at after dealing with this Eternal Fly. And yeah, it's not great. We probably don't need the Chariot card, so I'm just going to take the Ace of Spades. We're going to be using keys a lot more than we are going to be using invincibility. All right, so we're guaranteed an angel deal here since we played the sack room. And while we're going through this boss fight against the Gurglings, we go off to last week's question of the episode, which was, what is your take on Heartbreak? And then in parentheses, I also said, I know I was calling it Broken Heart / Empty Heart in the video, which that does happen. I've got my own sort of like erroneous names for, I should say, for items, just because I'm like, yeah, it's Heartbreak, Broken Heart, whatever. The most upvoted comment came in from DNA4063, who said, it broke my heart, in all bold. It broke my heart to see this item being so underrated. It can save you many times if you're having a struggle bus run, and having 3 broken hearts is not much of a big problem for me. Overall, I like it. Yeah, Heartbreak is one of those items that I really don't think a whole lot about, obviously. I do feel that it is maybe underrated a little bit because you do get a little bit of damage per broken heart and stuff, but at the same time, I don't think it's that great. You know, it is nice that it does save you from death, obviously, so in a bind, especially if you have a really bad run, it's going to obviously save you, and give you a damage buff, which is cool. It's just that the idea of limiting my HP to broken hearts is it's a little bit iffy for me. But overall, it's not a bad item. So I definitely feel you on that one. Second most upvoted comment came in from Radtastical, who said, great name, by the way, it's definitely an item that exists in the Binding of Isaac Repentance. Thank you very much, Radtastical. Then last and not least, third most upvoted comment came from Ronnie J. Ronnie, who said, I treat it like damage upgrade that can save me from death. It does reduce your max health, but I think the insurance is worth it. Yeah, kind of what I just got done saying. It's true. Like, I do think that having the ability to save yourself in a really, really bad run and also gain some damage out of it, I mean, that's win-win, right? Like how could that be bad? And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that there are Devil Deal items there that I would like to have over it. Obviously, there's always going to be items that you just kind of prefer. But Heartbreak is not, it's really not an item that you really see a whole lot of use out of. And to be quite honest, it's not an item that you want to see a whole lot of use out of, right? Because if you did, that means that you're probably dying a lot, and we don't want to be dying a lot. We want to be living a lot, especially for us to get Sacred Heart here with Inner Eye, and Montezuma's Revenge is just going to do so much damage now. We're going to be smacking the game left and right here. So thank you everyone who participates in the questions of the episodes. They do help a lot. I know that I don't always get them out on time. I try to my best, especially if I'm awake when the videos go live. Then I will get the questions of the episodes out. Sometimes I'm not. My sleep schedule is slowly kind of going back and devolving to the DGen schedule again, which is good and bad in a way. It's good because, like, oh my goodness, what is happening here? Ansa's okay.
Soul of Apollyon.
Soul of Tainted Blue Baby. I definitely want Ansa's and the Sun card. So this is going to be a bunch of Lovers cards here, which we can use to tap the Demon Judgment. So let's see if we can get a guaranteed payout here, pretty much. Yeah, absolutely huge upgrade for us with Roid Rage. We get a Hierophant card. Oh man, it's just, this luck is out of control right now. But the questions of the episodes do help out quite a bit, and it's, you know, I enjoy the discourse that it creates. I enjoy all the popular topics that we talk about. Some of them are relevant to the video, some of them aren't, obviously, but it's all about, you know, it's all about that engagement stuff that we talk about on YouTube all the time now. And you know, to those of you who do take part in it every single day, I really do truly appreciate it, because you're going out of your way to help me out, and that's valuable. Bloody Caves number 2 here, and we've got enough keys for me to not even really care about going to the vault, and this is why you don't go into vaults, because vaults are pretty bad. We had a recent discussion on the stream not too long ago where, which is the reason why I said recent, talking about vaults and how, like, they are just not what they should be. You know, it requires a really hefty cost to get into a vault. Right, you're using 2 keys, and also it takes up one of your special room spawns for the map. So it needs to pay off in dividends, really. It doesn't have to be like a banger every single time, but it's nice to get some help. No, I think that vaults are I think that there should be a buff to vaults. I really do. I think that there should be guaranteed golden chests in there. And then if the game wants to throw out any kind of, like, some trolley mechanisms, then sure, go for it. If you want to say, like, oh, but they're covered in spikes sometimes, or oh, you got to go through a flame maze or something, then fine, go for it. Actually, I have plenty of keys here, so I don't mind playing the key beggar. Okay. And upgraded shops, by the way, everybody. Someone on stream also was talking about how it is incredible how bad my shops are on the YouTube series, because they do not see the this. They don't see those crappy shops as much as I do. And yeah, it definitely feels like I see a disproportionate amount of not good things in this game. But I also play this game a disproportionate amount to normal people. So speaking of chests, here we go. The golden chests here. Safety scissors. We do need bombs. So I don't mind keeping the safety scissors over the master lockpicking, although this does save us keys, which could lead us to bombs anyway, kind of like that right there. So it's give and take. It's kind of whatever. We can always get more bombs. Unlimited keys is very, very nice. Weird how Montezuma was angled before I even got in this room. That damage up, which is going to be a massive damage up thanks to the Sacred Heart multiplier, and we'll absolutely take Spirit of the Night. I do find it funny how much sway I have with like the tendencies of items and stuff. Like there are times where I think people are sharing my opinion when it comes to certain items. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but it's I don't know. I guess it's the whole influencer thing that still kind of blows my mind in a way. You know, I like to show items for what they do and for what they are in this series. And the fact that some people share the same biases that I do against like certain items for the same exact reason kind of proves to me that like there is like sort of like this hive mind of meta that goes on. Some people will make fun of me and say like, you know, like, oh, there's literally no meta in Isaac, blah blah blah. It's non-competitive games. Like, okay, well then why do they keep balancing it like it? But also the fact that like, you know, there's just common strategies when it comes to this game that you don't really see in other games, especially in the roguelite genre. Oh, I'll pick up the nickel. And it's just funny because it's like me talking to me sometimes when I see the comments of people, especially in the questions of the day, relating to, you know, hey, like, what do you think about this item, or what do you feel about this character? Like, a lot of people really, really hate Tainted Cain because of just how boring he is, and just, you know, how boring. So I definitely feel you on that. And it is funny to think about sometimes about how much influence you sway just from showing everyone what an item actually does. Duplicate there. By the way, the D1 will randomly duplicate something on the ground for you. It doesn't always duplicate the thing that you want, and it certainly does not always duplicate into the thing that you want, but it still does it. The D1 used to be much more effective, and I mean much more effective, because you could actually control what it duplicated. Now it just takes the category of items. So if we have a shop, if we have like an item on the ground, like a card, it won't duplicate that exact card. It will just duplicate another card. Same thing goes for hearts. Back in the olden days, back in the good days, you'd be able to like have a soul heart on the ground with the D1 and then just have it duplicate the soul heart over and over and over again. But now it just turns it into just a regular heart. Sometimes it can duplicate into a soul heart. That is true, but most of the time it doesn't. Not really feeling Sanguine Bond. I am feeling Little Horn, though. We could activate Dark Prince's Crown. We might as well. Look at the Dead's kind of whatever, but I am happy to have Dark Prince's Crown, as that's going to give us another nice damage upgrade. Okay, so we have plenty of time for boss rush. Got plenty of damage as well. So here's our full card. We already found it, which is great. Then I can use the D1. Now, the D1's not guaranteed to give us a full card. It's guaranteed to give us a card. And this time it turns, you know, Ace of Diamonds, I'm fine with that. Oh, man. Loki's Horns plus Sacred Heart and Big Horn. Sign me up. Ace of Diamonds just turns everything into money. You can really get that shutdown damage of Sacred Heart, which is what you want. Didn't really want to tap the slot machine. I just wanted to get the money. So again, we don't care about keys here because we have Master Lockpicking, so we know that he's not going to pay out the Master Lockpicking anymore. course, Spirit of the Night, by the way, gave us flying and spectral tears, which is really good. Like a range upgrade. We don't care about keys, bro, so. And takes us to D Bizzle and 9 Lizzles. Definitely take both of these here as we still get to activate Dark Prince's Crown. If you're worn out, you're welcome there, key beggar. Let's go check out the boss trap room real quick. We'll take Bar of Soap as it's going to give us a nice little shot speed and tears up. So we don't care about it actually works in our favor for us not to qualify for the Deal with the Devil here deliberately. That way we can get a boosted Deal with the Devil chance on the next floor. So I don't mind doing that. Is that something that you should employ? Probably not. You don't want to usually go hurt yourself unless you know what you're doing. And in this case, I think that it is worth it, of course, because we do get that extra boost of Devil Deal on the next floor because we failed this one. Another vault here, but we don't have any keys. I know we're kind of lollygagging here, but we have the luxury too, because we know that we're going the right way. We've got D Bizzle. We got plenty of damage. We have the Fool card. We could actually probably do Boss Rush too. I wouldn't mind actually doing it. Well, let's see. We'll see what kind of items we got in here first. If there's a good item in there, we can do Boss Rush. If not, then I don't care. Beautiful damage here. Yeah, we can do the negative. It's going to give us a significant damage up, and wow, that is a real bad boss rush. It's a wow bad boss rush right there. We can roll this. I mean, sure. Give us Dead Tooth. It's kind of hoping we were going to get some keys out of that, but you know what? What can you do? So head on down. I have a self-inflicted injury today. I'm taking an injury timeout during the commercial breaks here. So no one's going to believe me, but whatever. So as everyone know, I like Sour Patch Kids, right? Yeah, it's one of my favorite candies, right? I ordered some Sour Patch Kids on the groceries the other day. And that's what we call it, the groceries. And unbeknownst to me, they did the thing where they're like, "Oh, sorry, we didn't have the regular one. There's been a substitution." And I was like, I didn't find this out until after the fact, by the way. So I got this giant bag of Sour Patch Kids when really all I wanted was like just the regular small box ones, though, because like if you put Sour Patch Kids in front of me, they will be consumed. So I end up getting this like giant family size one, and when I really just wanted like the small ones. I don't want this many Sour Patch Kids, but it's like, I mean, hey, we got them, so I might as well eat them, right? The problem is that for me is that if I eat too much sour stuff, including like citrus stuff as well, I get really bad like mouth ulcers. And the one that I get in particular always settles right underneath my tongue, right underneath my tongue on the right side, which is really annoying because that's where I kind of clench my teeth a bit, and it also kind of screws me up whenever I record. Satanic Bible, I mean, whatever. We can take Satanic Bible, that's fine. The D1's not really doing much. So I'm struggling with speaking right now. Another fantastic vault, by the way, in case if you wanted to chime in on that discussion. And yes, I know that I could have gone and gotten those full charges and gotten extra soul heart, but we've got Sacred Heart. We don't need to. Is that the right attitude? No, it's not. You should definitely do what you can whenever you have opportunities to get more HP, but here we are. I think I'll be okay. So yeah, so I have like this really, really painful like mouth ulcer on the bottom right side of my tongue, and it's really annoying to deal with, but at the same time, I'm like, I can go for some Sour Patch Kids right now. sounds really good. And you know that I'm going to eat that entire thing eventually. It might take me the rest of the month, but I might still eat it. Just consume it all. It's like eating battery acid laced with sugar. Two hearts does nothing for us. We were able to activate Dark Prince's Crown again, and I'm actually going to leave that HP upgrade since we do not need it. Well, we can use the Joker card now, I guess, to see if we need the HP upgrade. Obviously, we want to try to maintain the Dark Prince's Crown state. Oh, Dingleberry, you can dingle off. Contract from below going absolutely ham. We're going to leave that full charge there for the Satanic Bible to get us another soul heart. And we don't have to worry about the Satanic Bible overriding our boss room item because it's non-existent on this floor. There's no boss room item to overwrite. Also don't have a bomb. Silly me. We have so much damage here, especially with Little Horn appearing out of nowhere and just beating the crap out of things. That was a real cute game. Real cute trick there. Putting the Diglett right in front of us. Very funny. I haven't figured out a way to counteract the effects of like mouth ulcers though. Other than like the obvious, which is like don't eat like, you know, a handful of Sour Patch Kids at once. Or not at once, but you know what I mean. Like in one serving, one sitting. Some people I've heard, they say that like you can use Tums or like an antacid and like coat like the mouth ulcer with it, and it supposedly neutralizes like the problem. I haven't tried that yet. I don't know if it works or not. Yeah, we don't really need any of those. We don't really like. I haven't gotten solid confirmation of whether or not that works or not. So if we have any medical professionals out there in the mosh pit who wants to try to give a go at that, to tell me whether or not if that does work or not, please let me know. I'm very interested in hearing it. I know we have several medical professionals in the mosh pit, actually. Whenever we had the cough of 2023, I had lots of people reach out to me very kindly. 2 actual licensed ENTs reached out too, to try to get to the bottom of what was happening with the cough. And truth be told, we still don't truly know what caused the cough. Even after the endoscopy and everything, there's no real clear evidence of what's going on other than slight acid reflux. So yeah, not really sure. All I know is that I'm glad that it's pretty much, it's not gone for sure. Like, like if I end up talking a lot, or if like my throat gets really, really, really dry, it'll come back. But, and that cough there was for demonstration, by the way. That wasn't me actually coughing. But I've been trying to stay on hydration. Hydration is very, very important for your body. I'm not going to sit here and try to say that I'm the pinnacle of human health or anything. But one thing I have learned over the years is that hydration is key. Making sure that you're not dehydrated, it helps out in so many different ways. For allergy sufferers out there, it helps out. For people suffering from random, really weird... Did we get hit by a spike rock there? Random, really weird coughs. That's also a factor. Dizzle. Look at that. Dark Bum's really stepped it up with the past couple of runs here. I'm not taking Steam sale because I'm actually not going to do a victory lap today. My mouth is legit bothering me. Sacred Heart, absolutely dominant. If we get a chance to fight Delirium, however, I will fight Delirium. In case you haven't seen it yet, I've been posting some Palworld stuff on the Sinvicta Gaming channel. So if you wanted to see more of my content, but not necessarily want to watch Isaac, I don't know why I did that. You can go check out the Sinvicta Gaming channel. There's a link down below. Checked out Palworld. It's like a Pokemon-infused Ark survival evolved game. It's been billed as Pokemon with guns, and I don't feel that that's the correct assessment of that game. It's more like Ark with a little bit of creature collecting built into it. But it's surprisingly been okay. Yeah, I mean, Damocles really doesn't really matter for us here. So, yeah. That's the best assessment I can give of that game so far anyway. It's surprisingly okay. When I first saw it, I thought it was going to be like mega super jank, and there is definitely a jank factor to it. Jank factor in the way of, like, for those of you who played Temtem, you know, that game has some jank to it as well, because, like, you know, obviously people who have been playing these games are going to be coming from the Pokemon series. Let's just be honest. So you expect that level of quality when it comes to, like, the programming and the animations, that sort of stuff. And whenever a game doesn't have it up to those standards, I know that Pokemon's not necessarily known for its animations. It is a little bit disappointing, and there's still a jank factor there. And, like, the combat in those survival games too, like, I've seen people play 7 Days to Die, I've seen people play Rust, I've seen people play Ark. It's always like, just, it looks bad. Like, it looks like it's floaty. It's like if Skyrim was even worse melee combat. Like, it doesn't look good to me. But in Palworld, it's actually not too bad. There's still that level of jank, but it's decent so far. Actually, oh, there's a third one. How great would it be if Montezuma's Revenge actually started, like, homing? A very nice Sacred Heart run here. I gotta say that early pickup was definitely key. We didn't have to really rely too much on Montezuma's Revenge, and Sacred Heart plus Inner Eye it just dominates everything. Dark Prince's Crown also getting a little bit of a shout out as well, and D-Bizzle. D-Bizzle did well. So thank you for watching, everybody. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and rest my tired tongue for today. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm gonna try to put some of that antacid stuff on there. But either way, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you click the like button, leave a comment down below. Your question of the episode today is going to be, what are your thoughts about buffing vaults in the game? Do you think they do need to be adjusted? Do you think they're fine as it is? It should be a gamble. Post them in your comments down below. The top 3 most upvoted comments get read on next Tuesday's episode. And thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, everybody. As always, I'll see you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. I'd like to thank some patrons of mine like Newborn God, Mythwithy, and Mr. Meatfoot. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find at patreon.com/Sinvicta.